That's right. It is the morning show right here on KVVB TV, channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. It's great to have you with us. On today's show, we're going to be talking about a way to beat this stress of the holidays. Actually, though, I personally think this is a great thing for all year round. Yes, it's something that won't blow your diet or even break the bank. The secret is in your fridge. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Can you tell what I'm talking about on today's show, Jesse?
Good morning, and no,
Yeah,
I
that's a good hint, though,
I
right?
don't know.
Yeah, something that could beat holiday stress but won't blow your diet or break the bank. Yeah, and of course, the secret is in your fridge. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit later on to the author of Make Your Own Beauty Masks. Beauty masks. That's what we're talking
Ooh.
about. Interesting, right? I mean, there it is 38 simple, all natural recipes for healthy skin. Justin Krasner is going to be joining us in on this. And I'm glad we got a man to share this with us because I think more men need to do this. Because I'm not going to lie, before I met Brenda, I had never done one of these face masks. And so, Jesse, I got to ask, when you see people with these face masks, what's the first thing you think of?
I am not quite sure. The only person I know to ever wear a facial mask, like a man, is my older brother. But yeah,
Did you just call
he
him out
doesn't
and then
watch.
you went? You're supposed to do it at the same time. My older brother, like that. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, it's okay. But all right, okay. So, and I'm not gonna fib here. At first I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go outside or even post this on Instagram that I'm doing a face mask, but I will talk about it on today's show because it is something that for you ladies out there, you know how like invigorating this is or how relaxing it is. And for those of you that don't, you really got to try some. They've got some great ones, Korean made. Anything Korean made when it comes to skincare, by the way, is fantastic. It's sad that I know this much about skincare, but again, it's thanks to the lovely Brenda Higuera over there. Follow her at 35 Lifestyle. She talks a lot about beauty products, and I'm not gonna lie. When your skin feels silky and smooth and like rejuvenated, you're like, wow, I was really dried out. So I keep asking her, where are the face masks in this place? So we're going to come back. We'll talk about that and more right after these messages. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this.
face. He has face.
Oh man, I was gonna sing to that song. All right. So, I want to ask, poll the audience there. How many of you, and maybe we could even get Brenda Higuera to kind of come in on this little chat. How many of you have tried these face masks? Because we got to get Jesse. And do you know if your girlfriend does these face masks, Jesse?
You know what? I never asked, but I'll find out.
Yeah, if she doesn't, just like make it a day for you both to be like, hey, Aaron and Brenda like swear by this. And I do, by the way. Brenda, can you give our listeners that have never tried a beauty mask like and I'm not talking about the type of green paste that we often see on Facebook and stuff where you gotta look like really crazy. I'm talking about the face mask which you like lay on. Like it comes in like I think we have a picture of that, right, Brenda?
Yes, we have a picture of it. So there's the face masks are great, and I'm not talking about this kind of face mask. I'm talking.
Actually, that would be cool if they could make one like that. Jesse would wear it.
I'd rock it. Oh yeah, I'd wear it all the time.
It's not that kind of face mask. Okay, so the kind of face mask that we're talking about is a sheet mask, Jesse. So
Oh
it's not
okay.
a horror one. So it looks basically you can find like the Korean ones that I was talking about to Aaron, which he loves. I got him hooked on, or something like this. So it's a
Yeah.
little sheet mask
Oh, they're
that you
great.
put on your skin. It moisturizes your skin. There's so many brands out there that you can find. You just have to find one that suits you. This one I've never tried it, but it was a great image for you viewers that are able to see it, and basically
Eh,
get the concept of it. But there's so many other brands that are out there.
There are, in fact, I'm happy to announce. I always talk about Arbonne's other like drinks and nutritional supplements that they have out there. They came out recently with a mask, which I cannot wait to try out, and we'll probably do a product review of them because I again. There's one, it was like that I tried, Brenda, that you got. It was like milk hydration on the skin. I did it when you were like over there with Liam, and I treated myself to it, and I think I fell asleep. No, I didn't fall asleep, thankfully. But when
10
Brenda's done it
seconds.
on me, I've fallen asleep. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
this is
great.
a mask I'll be trying it on soon. So
Oh
there
yeah,
you go.
there it is. Kind of looks like Jason's
5
girlfriend.
seconds.
Just saying. By the way, Jesse, Casey likes face masks, so there you go. Now you know. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live audience over there on TV, on KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, also YouTube Live. We appreciate each and every one of you. However you find us, we're glad that you're following us on social media. And if you're not already, it's very simple. Just find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, KMET, 1490 AM. Also, KVVB TV 33. We're very active over there. Got lots of news stories for the local community as well. Right now, we got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Now, Jesse, I don't know what today's National Day is, and I really don't care because I'm going to tell you right now. Our National Day today is all about skincare. So we're going to focus today, our guest, a little bit later around the corner. Brenda has been looking forward to this, and I'm not going to lie. I've been looking forward to this very subject as well. It's called Make Your Own Beauty Masks. It's a book that has been put out by Justin Krasner, and it's with just 38 simple, all-natural recipes for healthy skin. Yeah. 10 sheet masks, it looks like it might include. That's interesting. And then you just kind of put all the ingredients together. So I'm looking forward to hearing what kind of natural products he has. But we're asking our social media audience right now, how many have tried a beauty mask in their lives at all? And I'm not talking, Jesse, I asked you earlier off camera, and you said, oh, is it one of those like black charcoal ones? But are you thinking of the kind that like that when they pull off all your like little blackheads come out? Although I kind of want to try that, but I've seen how painful they are, so I don't want to try that. That's not typically that's not really this kind of face mask that we're talking about. We understand that, right, Jesse?
Yes, as long as it's not the one where you rip off my face, I'm okay with it.
Okay, so this is like yeah, and each face mask does things differently. Look, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say for the men out there, you're probably thinking, what am I listening to? Why are we talking about face masks? If you have not tried a face mask, I'm gonna say I was with you probably about how long has it been? Probably 2 years ago. I don't know. Brenda one time she was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to treat you to a face mask. You know what? I wouldn't mind it. I was like, okay, sure, as long as nobody sees this or knows of this. And so she tried. First I think she put on a warm towel on my face. And then she did like some lavender oil or something because it smelled so good, right? I think she infused something, some type of, and it was like a little spa. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And then she put on the face mask, and I kid you not, I think Brenda, how soon after did I fall asleep when you put that on? I think I was out for like, right?
Quick.
It was quick. Yeah. I don't even remember. Like all I remember was you putting it on and I was out. So, there you go. So maybe sit up when you do it because it's that relaxing, at least when Brenda did it for me. So my point is this: couples everywhere during this time of the season, you can all do this, and maybe we'll find out about some natural ways you could do it because I know they kind of add up. They get a little costly, a little bit of an investment, but I will say I recommend them, especially if you've got like cold, dry weather and your skin is like all and you're like, oh, why is it so dry and flaky, and your skin's crying out to you. The biggest organ of the body, Jesse, do you know what that is?
Yes, it's the skin.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So there you go. So this is why we're going to be talking a lot about skincare around the corner, or at least this book, Beauty Mask, Making Your Own. So we'll talk about that. I'm excited for that. I hope we get some juicy tidbits over there. Okay, well, speaking of some pretty cool stuff out there and not so cool, especially this one, I think we should start off with this one because we went for beauty mass to something. Let's go to something kind of serious there. And we've been talking a lot, I think this entire year, at least half of our broadcast, we talk about vaping, right? And how it's just been all of these things. We're like, well, how safe, how not safe is it? Right, Jesse? Would you say it's about that much that we've talked about it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. And so I try to stay away from it because I'm kind of like, I think people kind of get it. But yet I still see people vaping, and I see the smoke coming out of their lungs. Well, according to this is a latest article here. The a recent outbreak of lung injuries linked to vaping has highlighted the dangers of e-cigarettes. A new study, though, puts the warning in big red letters. Often promoted as a healthier alternative to smoking, vaping increases the chances of developing chronic pulmonary diseases like emphysema, asthma, and bronchitis by 30%. That's according to the report. 30%. That is a high statistic. So one in three will get one of these terrible things. People who smoke both conventional and electronic cigarettes, the majority of vapors 18 and older, more than triple their risk of having respiratory illnesses. And I can tell you from experience, if you've ever had a hard time breathing or you're wheezing, that is no fun. That's just no fun. I remember I had that one because I have chronic bronchitis. I've had it ever since I was a kid. And one time it led to pneumonia, walking pneumonia. Actually, no, that's not true. Several times it went to walking pneumonia, so much so that I couldn't take a trip on an airplane. So I could tell you from experience, just having it and not putting anything in my lungs is already terrible enough. To increase the chances of that, no, thank you. The conclusions from the first study on the long term health impacts of vaping on a representative adult population conducted by the University of California, San Francisco, and published Monday in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine. The analysis tracked 32,000. This is a big study. This is not a tiny study. We got 100 people, we figured it out. 32,000 people, U.S. adults, without any previous signs of lung disease from 2013 to 2016 that found stronger evidence of the connection between vaping and respiratory ailments than previous studies that looked at a moment in time and couldn't establish a causal link. According to the lead author, Stanton Glantz, a UCSF professor of medicine and director of the School Center for Tobacco Control Research and Education, said, quote, we concluded that e-cigarettes are harmful on their own and the effects are independent of smoking conventional tobacco. Dual users, the most common use pattern among people who use e-cigarettes, get the combined risk of e-cigarettes and conventional cigarettes, so they're actually worse off than tobacco smokers. So what do you think about this, Jesse? Now that you've heard this, are you still thinking, nah, vaping's on the list for you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna vape a lot. No, I don't vape. Nicotine is bad.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree on this. The research found the rate of chronic pulmonary illnesses among current vapors is 1.3 times higher than for non-users compared to 2.6 times higher for smokers. Long story very short, be careful out there. And you know what? I would venture to say if you're in the close proximity of a vapor, the smoke that they're exhaling it now is in the air. I mean, they haven't even scratched the surface on secondhand smoke because a lot of places now still allow this because it falls under that whole, well, it's not cigarette smoke, so is it the same, is it not? So I think I would venture to say you got to be careful because I recently inhaled the exhaling of somebody else and I was starting to cough. I was starting to and it wasn't, sometimes you kind of do that just to kind of get the person like, hey, get the hint, like, can you move over? Because you don't want to say, excuse me, can you move over there? And, because you got to excuse yourself. So they're like, I was here first. You're like, well, I didn't ask to breathe in your vaping. Why don't you keep that in your lungs? And they're like, well, it doesn't work that way. And you're like, well, then okay. So, other than this whole back and forth, why don't we all just agree to help each other out? All right. I know some of you are like, I like vaping. Don't you dare get rid of my vaping. But I'm here to help you with your lungs. So, you know what? You might not like the message, but hopefully you'll pay attention to it. All right. You know what, Jesse? I'm so excited because around the corner is Star Wars, right? The latest, the end of the whole decade, right? Of like, well, okay, it's a couple decades, but all 10 films, right? This is the 10th one, right? Am I wrong? Am I right?
This would be the ninth film.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So, for the very beginning one to I get all the numbers mixed up. I really do. But so look, I'm kind of disappointed because I've seen some early reviews. Evidently, they just had the premiere, which means certain critics get in there early, and some have said it's not the best finale ever. So I'm a little on edge about that. So at least I look. The reason I like that type of statement is you put me in going in going, okay, I don't have high expectations. And then anything that's above that marginally is great to me, right? So don't have high expectations. That's all I've got to say. I don't know. What do you feel about that? Do you feel that they're wrong? Do you think they might be onto something based on the last couple of Star Wars films that have come out, Jesse? Or do you just say, you know what? I don't care.
I'm gonna watch it regardless, but hopefully they can redo or undo what they did in the Last Jedi. But we'll see.
Yeah. See, I tend to agree with you. And J.J. Abrams is very nervous. He's like 93%. I don't know. He marched. He actually quantified that. But he's like, I'm 93% terrified, as well as he should be, because you're pretty much bringing to the end a saga which we all have loved ever since forever, and you can't beat the first three. You just can't. So, but many have tried. So we'll see. Speaking of, since we're in that subject line, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Newborns are being dressed as Baby Yoda. Yeah, as Baby Yoda by hospital staffers, and people are really happy about this. Look, we all have been wondering where the merchandise is. Don't know why we have to wait till May or March or whatever that is. But there you go, Baby Yoda. Yeah, adorable little creatures are at the Pittsburgh Medical Center. They started to garner attention on social media on World Kindness Day in November when one of the nurses, Caitlin Petchin, made outfits inspired by Mr. Rogers for the babies. Now, for the holiday season, she went a step further to make the little one something out of this world that bears a close resemblance to the Star Wars character. So, how cute is that? Although, somebody's going to get offended over there. Somebody's going to be like, my baby's Jewish. Why are you putting a Christmas hat on my baby? And you're like, oh. So you got to be careful out there with stuff like that. But I think all in good taste. That's so adorable. You could be like, you know what? That's just Baby Yoda. Come on, you gotta love that, regardless of your religion. All right, okay, we're gonna take a quick break here on the morning show. We'll be right back. Isn't that so adorable? We gotta put that back up. You cannot have a bad day and then look at that and be like, oh yeah, I'm still having a bad day. That's just okay. All right. We'll be right back right after these messages, and we'll be talking about natural face masks. So you're not gonna want to miss that. Maybe you could put that on with that. We need an adult version of that hat. Am I wrong? Am I right? Right? That I'm wrong? Okay. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm warming my hands on our spiffy cup here. If you guys want a cup like this, put in a request. Maybe we could pre-order a bunch, right? Get everybody drinking them. What is in your coffee cup? What is in your coffee cup? Jesse, I know you don't drink much coffee, but Brenda, what's in my coffee cup today?
Did you Irish it up?
I did to mine. Just kidding.
Terrible.
That's why she's all happy. Okay, that makes sense.
No, I have French vanilla. And Aaron has Newman's coffee, or I don't know, whatever we had here. It was good. Yeah, I would have had the coffee, but I needed more sugar than I did coffee.
Newman's coffee. Ooh, it's at least still warm because it's cold up in here. I'm not gonna lie, it is cold in this studio.
I'm surprised you guys can hear the wind outside. It is incredibly loud.
Well, okay. So the Santa Ana winds are all below the mountain line.
That's
Yeah,
why.
we're not having any that bad up here. But I read that the Santa Ana winds are in, so people be careful of your roofs because this is the time where roofs start falling apart. Old roofs like this is for construction people. Yeah, I used to sell roofs for a time. Construction people love this time of year because it's like you've been putting off that roof. Now you're going to have to get it. Yeah, exactly. And they're like, oh, man. Yeah. Although we've seen some people that like they have like a hole in the roof, like a big hole, and they're still not going to fix it because they're like, it's going to cost too much. You're like, water damage. That's all I got to say. When you get water damage in your roof, like you're thinking, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Down the line, mold spores, and when it gets into the actual wood, oh man, creates a big problem. Which then you inhale. Talk about inhaling, not even vaping. Like people have died from this mold illness. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. So there you go. All right, not to scare everybody. I don't know why we went south so quick with that, but
I
but
I know
somebody needs to know that out
you went
there.
pretty dark.
I
You
know
went dark
somebody
pretty
needs to
quick.
know that out there. That's all. Take care of your roofs, people. Oh, is the
25
caller ready to
seconds.
go?
No, he hasn't called me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if he has it, then we'll go into this Krispy Kreme's gingerbread glazed donuts. They look delicious. I'm not. Huh?
10 seconds.
Supposed to be on a diet.
Well,
darn it.
were you? Really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I need to be updated by these things. Because then I can get on you and you can get
2
on
seconds.
me. Oh, there's a
Someone's
caller.
calling.
All right. I'll let you on. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there, KVVB TV 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. Yes, it's that time. I'm so excited about this next guest because I am one who secretly, up until now, I'm pretty much come out pretty publicly that I do love face masks. But evidently, I'm not alone because in social media, we've got people saying they like face masks as well. Like Mandy Lynn, she goes, I've only tried peel off masks, not sheet masks yet. I was given samples at Girls Night Out event, though. Casey says, I love face masks. So it looks like our social media audience is pretty down with this. Spending time with us right now, in fact, is Justin Krasner, who just wrote the book, Make Your Own Beauty Mask with 38 simple, all-natural recipes for healthy skin. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, Justin, you have no idea how, we had to pull strings here just to get you on here because, my significant other, also known as Brenda, she was like, oh, I can't wait for this because no truth to the rumor, though, but I love face masks. But before her, I did not know a thing about face masks. Now, what was your first introduction into face masks? Because I could imagine some of your friends are like, oh, you like that sort of thing? Or do you get that at all? Or are all people around you just loving your face masks?
Well, you've probably seen face masks everywhere, especially the sheet kind, from local drugstores to fancy cosmetic retailers. I mean, you said they're also all over social media,
Right.
especially, not just women, guys too. Chris Pratt has shared a photo of him doing it. Diddy, John Stamos. This is really for everyone. And what's so great about the recipes in this book is, the book includes 10 cloth sheet masks that you can soak in the mixtures you make. But also, if you want, you can just apply them right to your face. You can do it football style, one little dash under each eye. You can really personalize your own skincare, which we all need to do, and you can do for basically free, just the ingredients that are in your kitchen already.
Well, and I think, look, I've tried a lot of face masks. I've never done the whole natural create your own. So I'm looking forward to your book. I'm not going to lie because I kind of want but is this a trial and error method or are you going to get it pretty much on your first try because your instructions are that good?
Well, as you said, they're all natural, so they're super gentle and, they're super good for you. There's 38 recipes and you really do want to try them. I mean, definitely before you make, just like you would for any other kind of skincare, before you put the mask on your face, test a little bit of the mixture on the back of your hand. And again, feel free to experiment. Making these masks is super simple. You just take, the ingredients. Some masks have only 2 ingredients. I think the most has 10. It's super easy. You throw them in a mixer or a blender, mix them up, put them on your face with your fingertips or a facial brush if you want to get fancy, or again, soak one of those 10 cloth sheet masks in there to really kind of trap in those ingredients and help them drive them closer to your pores. And then leave it on for 10, 20 minutes, sit back, relax, watch a movie, then take it off and, wash your face with some lukewarm water. It is that easy. That's all you need to do. And as you said, feel free to experiment. We all have different types of skin. Sometimes we have different types of skin that day, depending on what we're doing. This book has recipes for dry skin, for oily skin, for combination skin. Experiment, have fun, try different recipes, make your own recipes based off of the recipes in this book. We have one awesome mask recipe called You're Too Sweet. It is super simple. It's coconut oil and brown sugar. Coconut oil for hydration, brown sugar, for a great natural exfoliant. But maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe the, coconut oil is too oily. Fine, totally fine. Instead, try your berry best, which is just blueberries, raw honey, and Greek yogurt. The blueberries, awesome, full of antioxidants, vitamin C. That Greek yogurt, a lot less oily than that coconut oil, but still super hydrating, super soothing. Try them out. See what works best for you. This really allows you to personalize your skincare.
Okay, so speaking of skincare, look, I speak to a lot of men who think that they're manly and they don't need to do this. I'm glad you mentioned Chris Pratt and a couple of the other celebrities that do this. I could totally see Stamos doing it because that guy does not age. Is there anything for anti-aging? Because I'm at that age now. I'm not going to lie. I never, ever thought of skincare until I met my lady. And then she started pointing out like wrinkles in my face, and she's like, "Oh, that was a new one." You're like, "Oh man, come on, why did you have to point that out?" And now I'm starting to like think about it, whereas before I never thought about it. And I don't want to certainly get like vain to that degree, but is there any like advice for the newbie out there that has kind of put this type of skincare off, but are going to thank you in 10 to 15 years when people are complimenting them for still looking oh so young?
Well, I'm accepting thank you letters, so please send them my way. What's so great about this book is that we wanted it to be something that you could either do by yourself, but also, with your whole family. This book is not just for adults, it's also for tweens. So we didn't want anything that said, specifically wrinkles, because, tweens don't need to worry about their wrinkles. That said, we have a great mask called Brutiful Inside and Out. That's brew as in BREW. We call it that because it's like brewing up a cup of coffee, because it includes coffee grounds, which are a great natural exfoliant and also wake up your skin. I love putting those on my face football style, like right under my eyes. I have famously dark circles. Those go away for a little bit. It also includes egg whites, which, seem a little wacky, but they are packed with protein and vitamins, and they really tighten up that skin, tone it, brighten it. It is awesome.
Yeah, well, we were just commenting because, we've hit that new decade of, 40s. And so, we're talking about this, like the skin underneath, everything starts sagging, the elasticity starts kind of, not doing what we want. And anything for that to tighten up? Like you mentioned egg whites, anything else?
Absolutely. Well, if you're looking for a specific thing in the book, it is awesome. It is designed beautifully, and we have keys for each mask that have super clear icons that tell you exactly what you need. They're adorable. For that, I would recommend, this is also very seasonal, it's called Season's Greetings, and it is a awesome kind of super combo of ground cinnamon and ground nutmeg. Again, great exfoliants, but also packed with awesome nutrients for your skin. It also has whole milk, super soothing, super hydrating, super, super important. And if you have, this dry, wintry weather that we either all have or are about to have, even when you're in sunny out.
You hit it on the nail. I cannot believe how much dandruff I have now because my scalp is so dry up here. So break it down for me. How can I get look, man, you like seriously, we got to have like, do you and your friends like have like these parties that I know the ladies do? We do that? I don't know that guys do this. We don't really get together and be like, hey man, let's put on some face masks. I mean, do we?
They don't, and they should. I'm sure you do it with Brenda. I'm sure, you don't know about it. But, we do it with those, it's also great. This is a great father-daughter thing to do together. Do it with your daughter, make it together. It's totally great. And also, get the bros together, watch some TV, drink beer, and do face masks. There's nothing, doing it at home, you're safe. You don't have to go to Sephora and pick up something and, hope the cash register guy doesn't say anything. What's so great about these is you make them at home. Also, there's stuff like, You're Too Simple is just coconut oil and brown sugar. Like those, there's nothing, if you want to go girly, do the blueberry one. There's a pink one with pomegranate juice. Do that one. But what's more manly than ground coffee grounds?
Exactly. I like it. And with Super Bowl coming up around the corner, look, Justin, I know we're out of time. I got so much to ask, but I like the face masks that you did, which are like decorational, because I do think that the little white regular ones are not very it's nice to put can we do a Jason mask?
Yes, they all look like Jason masks, which is why the 10 cloth sheet masks that are included in this book have gorgeous, beautiful designs. Also, like silly designs. There's a puppy dog. There's space. There's all different kinds of things. Also, when you buy one of those in store, they're folded like 8 times. It takes forever to unfold, and they're covered in ingredients. What's so great about this is they're folded once in the back of the book. You take them out, and you soak them yourself in the mixture. So you can decide how goopy you want them to be, which is, again, great for us guys, just
like
put a
it.
little bit on set.
Yeah, you need a Freddy Krueger mask. I'm just saying, you need like a whole Halloween edition. I'm just saying, or a horror edition. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay, look, we got to let you go. We're going to get your book. It's amazing. Make your own beauty mask with 38 simple, all-natural recipes for healthy skin. Justin, how can we find you on social media? Do we have enough time to say that? I don't know. He's got to go on.
You can find us at odd.books at Instagram.
There it is. All right, Justin. Everybody, Justin Krasner, thank you for spending time with us here on the morning show. We know we kept you a little bit longer. Sorry, I apologize. But all right, there we go. Okay, we'll have to have him back because I got so many more questions. All right, we got to take a quick break here on the morning show. When we come back, we got more stories. How cool is that? Yeah, I'm just telling you, get some of your guy friends and be like, okay, we'll take care of your skin, because I'm telling you, as you age like this, it starts showing. And yeah, I know us men can get away with it a lot more than the ladies feel we can. But hey, you know what? All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. Oh, hey. All right. So we're on our commercial coffee break. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that segment. I know I certainly did, because he made it okay for me to talk about it publicly. I'm not going to lie. I've been on that fence of like, do I want to say this? Remember when like metrosexual was a thing? I didn't like to be identified by that. I was like, I'm not that. Like, right? It's just a thing. I don't know.
We're trying some of those face masks. We're trying some of those face masks tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't
You get to make them in the blender.
Don't get me
Those
excited.
guys.
All right, so there we go. See?
It'll be the other way around. How about you do one for me?
Oh.
Fall asleep.
Oh, yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, you do that for the lady. Yeah, in your life. But have her do it for you first, because then you're like, how do you do this? And then you're like, wait, can you do it again? Right? Because you're like, I keep falling asleep. I'm just kidding. All right. We got to get his book. We got to get his book with his many face masks. He could totally create like I don't know if they would sue him for that, but huh?
You can get it on Amazon, people. So I'm about to order it before the holidays hit.
No, wait. Okay, well, go ahead, but yeah. So, all right. There you go. All right, so let's see. Holiday season greeting, using the blender. Egg on your face, using the blender. Beautiful inside and out, mixed in a bowl. And you are too sweet, mixed in a bottle. Those are just some of the simple masks that he has. All right, well, we'll switch up gears, because I know not all of you are face mask connoisseurs, but for those of you missing out on it, I'm telling you. All right, Jesse, what else we got over there? What's going on in the news land? Are you excited by this, though, Jesse? I'm just saying, you're going to get treated. Your face is going to feel so amazing.
Okay, so yes, we're talking dubbed here.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, why not?
I'd rock a face mask. I'd rock a face mask.
Totally. And then you got to Instagram it. If Chris Pratt, who's the other ones that you say? Diddy? Forgot the other names.
Right. Hey, I don't want my skin to feel all dry and cracked and whatnot.
I put my mom. My mom had not had a face mask for a long time. I put a face mask on her a while. You know what? Actually, I did do it before you, Brendan. Now that I think about it,
10 seconds.
Because I think I was selling them at the time. Yeah, I completely forgot. That just hit my. It's right. I turned my mom onto it. I think that was my first introduction into face mask. That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Download our app. It's free, KMET 1490 AM. Also live on television, KVVB TV. You can watch from anywhere around the world where you get an internet connection. Also, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. Many ways for you to tune in to us. Yes, I'm still talking about it because it's the face masks. If you missed our last segment, it is one that you're definitely going to want to get the book for. And you know what? This is a good time to get it because when the family like all unite together, it's kind of cool. I like the ones because for those of you in Radio Land, the only way I could describe his face masks, or I think one looks like a cat, right? I think there's one that looks like a cat. Yeah. Some look kind of floral. I think he needs to, get some more like. I think Brendan had a good idea during our break, like a Jason mask or a Freddy Krueger mask. That would be kind of cool, because we would rock that. And but there you go. And they're usually like throwaways, right? You end up throwing them away after, I believe. I don't know that you keep reusing those face masks. Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you wash them? Do you use them again? I don't know. But there you go. So get it. It comes with 10 of them, 10 face masks, and lots of really cool stuff that you probably already have in your refrigerator. And if you don't, you're definitely going to be like, you know what? This egg, yeah, I'm not going to put it to waste. It's going on my face. So there you go. Get tighter, firmer skin, and naturally. Why not? Wow, how cool is that? All right. So I wonder who the first person was to actually somehow they put, I don't know how they did it, but they're like, oh, I woke up and this juice is on my face and look, my skin feels tighter. Who was the first person to know like honey was good for your face? Or did somebody just, you always wonder about that. Who was the caveman that found that out, right? If that existed. All right, moving on. I guess it's just me. There is this story as well. Speaking of some cool stuff, kids are reading holiday tales at a shelter to help get dogs adopted. And don't forget the SPCA. Let's see, I think they just had the adoption, right? That was just this last weekend. But maybe, they waived adoption fees, but it's still a good time, right? To get save a dog, a cat, even the rabbits. A week ago at the Humane Society of Missouri, it was nothing but holiday cheer with books and treats at their annual Deck the Howls event. According to Joellen Klepacki, the director of education at the Humane Society of Missouri, said, "We're trying to comfort the animals. We're also trying to recondition them to come to the front of the kennel to greet, to feel comfortable around people. All year round, kids take part in the organization's Shelter Buddies reading program, where they read books to dogs outside their kennels to help dogs reduce their anxiety. Each year around the holidays, they invite kids in their community to take part in Deck the Howls, an event where kids don their favorite pajamas, bring a little holiday cheer to the animals awaiting adoption by reading holiday stories to them by candlelight." According to Klepacki, says, "We really wanted to find a way to invite children in our community to come into the shelter and to get involved, connect with the animals, to see the shelter as a place of hope and healing, and to know that they can make a difference in the lives of others." How cool is that? Isn't that a great idea, Jesse?
I love it. It is adorable.
Yeah, nearly 5 years ago, they came up with this idea, and I think we need to replicate that in our own backyard. That's a great idea, especially for the kids, because like some kids like reading, other kids don't like reading. But how cool to be like, hey, you know what? You're gonna help out this animal have less anxiety, and I could see that happening because there's a connection that happens between humans and animals, and they get anxiety just like people do. Some of them have been abused. It's terrible. Some of the stuff that, if you've ever been around an abused animal, you will see them like the moment like you throw your hand up really fast, and all of a sudden they go, oh, like they just get scared because somebody used to mistreat them. They used to abuse them. The worst one I hate hearing about is like where animals are left on the freeway. It's kind of dark. I hate to go this dark on such a cheerful day, so maybe I shouldn't. But they do bags, and they find them like in like with a bag over their head, and then they get scared whenever they're around bags. It's terrible. So I'm glad these kids are doing this next to these dogs, and you know what? I think this is a great idea. Great idea. So, all right, you see, I'm telling you, we got a bunch of kids doing some cool stuff. Some dressed up in Yoda hats. They don't even know it before they're old, and they're like, "What is a Yoda?" Okay, what's a Yoda with you? FDA, they're approving an omega-3 fish oil medication to reduce risk of death in people with high cholesterol. Now, we've always talked about omega-3 fish oil, which has been pretty good for people. But this is interesting that the FDA has now announced a fish oil-derived medication, Vascepa, has been approved to prevent heart attacks, strokes, and death in people who are at a high cardiovascular risk. Dr. John Sheritz, acting deputy director of the Division of Metabolism and Endocrinology Products at the FDA Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, said in a press release, quote, the FDA recognizes there is need for additional medical treatments for cardiovascular disease. Today's approval will give patients with elevated triglycerides and other important risk factors, including heart disease, stroke, and diabetes, an adjunctive treatment option that can help decrease their risk of cardiovascular events. Vascepa, which is the only product made by pharmaceutical company Amarin, could be prescribed to millions of patients. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report that nearly 95 million Americans have high cholesterol. High cholesterol is a condition in which increased levels of fats like LDL-C and triglycerides build up in the blood, raises the risk of heart disease and stroke. And so there you go. What do you think about that, Jesse?
Take my money. Can I have those pills now?
Yeah, you know what? And I guess my only drawback or my only thought pattern in this, I'm going to wait to see what type of, what do they call them? I wonder, because I don't know why they wouldn't just say omega-3 by itself, like, but they're saying it's a derivative of, so as long as it doesn't have, like, you know, the list of 20 different side effects that this could now cause, I'd be all for it too. I'm just waiting to see what this is. I kind of want to see what does this mean for us, right? You know, now that, because how many times do we hear about natural supplements actually working, and then there's some articles that you'll see out there that go, no, they don't work, and then others that do, and then you're like, well, you just made a derivative of a prescription. Now you're like selling this at top dollar. So I'm hoping nobody like charges up the. Remember when they did that? They have like medication. Some pharmaceutical company comes in and then raises the price. So you're like, but I could get it naturally. It's omega-3. So I don't know. I've got questions on this, but I'm glad they're taking a good step towards this. I'm not going to knock it entirely. I just want more information on this, right? I mean, am I alone in thinking that? Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to hear your viewpoint over there. So there you go. And then there's this. For those of you that love Chance the Rapper and you're like, man, I cannot wait to see him in tour. Well, guess what? Guess again. Yeah, he canceled his 2020 tour. And you know what? I can't blame him on this, although I think fans are a little upset by this. Fans waiting his big tour, which was postponed following the birth of his daughter, learned it was canceled after just 5 shows. 5 shows. But I've got to say, this is a man that's kind of putting what I think priority, and that's his family. In a candid Instagram post on Sunday, he announced alongside a photo of him during one of his performances. He said, I've decided to cancel the big tour. I know it sucks, and it's been a lot of back and forth with reschedules and rerouting, but it's for the best. The 26-year-old explained, I'm going to take this time to be with family, make some new music, and develop my best show to date. The hot shower artist proved that he didn't come to the decision lightly, as he spends a good portion of his post apologizing to eager fans. He said, quote, I'm deeply sorry to anyone with a ticket who has supported me this past decade by coming to a show and rocking out with me. I feel even worse for anyone who was planning on making this their first Chance concert. He says after thanking his friends and family for sticking through the rough patches 2019 brought, he promises fans that he will come back much stronger and better in 2020. And so fans, of course, have voiced their support of the 3-time Grammy Award winner, voicing their agreement that family should come first. Of course, disappointed fans are going to be out there, and they vented their frustration on the erratic scheduling and asked if they will get refunds for their tickets. The 35-stop tour, originally set to commence in September, was to resume January 15th in San Diego, but there you go. What do you think about that, Jesse? Have you ever had tickets to a concert and then they cancel out the last minute on you?
No, I have not. I've only been to 3 concerts, and thankfully, none of them were canceled.
Really? Okay, of course I'm going to ask. Can we share the concerts that you've been to?
Well, one of them was Project Revolution, which was Linkin Park,
Ooh.
Snoop Dogg, and a bunch of
Oh.
other people.
Oh, I would have liked to have been. I've seen Linkin Park
Yes.
in person. That they do a really bang up job. Like, well, they did, but yeah.
Yeah. It was a great show. And the other
Oh,
two were Ozfest, which was quite insane.
wait, did you say Ozfest?
Yes, Ozfest. Ozzy Osbourne, all them rock and roll people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could imagine. I can imagine. All right, so there you go. By the way, I don't know if you knew this. This just came out. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences released short list of potential. This is like the preemptive strike to the big list. Oscar nominees in 9 categories. Individual Academy branches will determine the final list of nominees to be announced January 13th. Now, 15 films, 15 of them earned a place on the short list for original score. We're going to talk about that right after these messages. We have to take another break. And I want to see, I mean, we've talked about the Golden Globe, some of those nominees. I'm like, I'm on the fence about some of those. But let's talk about this. Let's see which ones do you think should make it. And we'll talk about that right after these messages. Stay tuned right there. We'll be right back right after this. All right, tuning into your comments over there on social media. Let's see here. Stephanie Reed says, I know my cat got me up at 5:45 a.m. wanting me to put the Salt Cave light on, and then 6:10 a.m. she wanted me to put a Christmas movie on. Wait, how did your cat, like, because I know cats can be demanding. I get it. Like, just throw our cat out in the hallway. Be like, hey, get out of here. You're bothering me, kid. But, yeah, so there, I don't know. Let's see, we got Yosue tuning in over there. Art Lewin. Hey, Art, good to see you over there. Nancy Naito. For those that need a custom suit, Art makes some amazing custom suits, by the way. So big shout out to Art and the entire team over there that make you a custom suit. Have you ever had a custom suit, Jesse?
Oops, I went online right there. Negative. I can't even remember the last time I wore a suit.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, I never wear suits at all. So I wouldn't know. I wear a suit pretty much every day. So I appreciate
Yeah, you do.
nice tailored suits, especially when they fit your body. The problem is when you go to these stores and you get like you're in an in between size. Like I'm a 43 regular. I don't know if you know your for those women out there, if you know your man's like suit size, that's pretty cool because we don't remember any of your sizes. But mine's a 43 regular, which is not a common suit size. So I always have to get like either a 44 regular. That means I have short arms compared to some people which have longer arms. And so they're a 43 or 44 long. So do you know your suit size, Jesse?
Negative, but I'm pretty sure I don't have long arms.
You'd be both. We could not be in the NBA, but like NBA all are extra L, XL, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we should have Art on the show to talk about like custom suits and why they're so good. But I've actually never had a form-fitting suit other than like a tailored suit, but one that comes out and it's like directly to your body, because they kind of make small adjustments, but one that's made for you, that's a whole different story. So that's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and more. We're looking at our social media comments over there. Stephanie Reed comments on this. I know my cat got me up at 5:45 a.m. wanting me to put the Salt Cave light on. And then at 6:10 a.m., she wanted me to put a Christmas movie on. So her cat is quite demanding. And we all have or had that one animal that is quite demanding. Jesse, have you ever had a demanding animal which is like, look, You are my servant, not the other way around. You ever have that?
Yeah, my dog. Uh, when I pet him, I'll stop and then he'll turn, he'll bark, and then I'll go back to petting, and he'll do that for a couple minutes, and it's like, don't stop. I didn't tell you to stop. Keep
Oh
going.
my goodness! So he rules the nest over there. I get that. I totally get that. Mandy Lynn in social media is commenting about our mold story, which I think we had on the break. I can't remember. It says mold can destroy a home's livability. I was once very very sick from mold in a home I lived in, and for those of you again the Santa Ana winds have picked up as of yesterday very heavily in the Inland Empire, Orange County, basically Southern California is getting struck with this. So I always remind people around this time, be careful of your roofs because boy, with the winds coming, if you've got like a roof that isn't new, maybe it has certain type of shingles or it's got other problems in it, the winds are going to test it, not including just power lines and all the other stuff that go wrong with the Santa Ana winds. And for those of you across the U.S. and in other countries, how would we describe Santa Ana winds, Jesse?
Um, I I don't know, other
Here, I'll
than
describe it
hurricane
for you.
type.
That's the wind. Like in your
Exactly.
car, you hear it on the outside, and you're like, oh, you're driving like to the side, and trucks are falling down left and right. It's like another movie with Dwayne Johnson in Armageddon, or what was the one? Or that wasn't Dwayne Johnson? Somebody did an Armageddon one. That was Travolta. No, no, it was
You talk
Dwayne
about
Johnson, right?
Armageddon.
Yeah, like the whole Earth is coming to an end, and no, the
That's
day after the dead, or no, what was it? There's one day after tomorrow. There was like the world's
yeah.
coming to an end. That's what it's like here in Southern California. Wind blustering at how fast do they go? Like 80, 90, 120 miles per hour, practically. People are like, that's
It's
called a
going.
hurricane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going pretty hard.
yeah. So
I
so we
went
get
through
a lot of
a
that, huh?
went through a dust storm trying to get here.
A dust storm. Oh, that's another really bad one. I remember I think I want to say 8 years ago, there was a terrible pileup on the 10 freeway with like 80 plus cars because a sandstorm just came in. Suddenly, everybody got blinded, and because everybody's going fast, they can't see right in front of their car, and they all slammed into each other. Very difficult. I'm not here to scare anybody, but be careful during this time of season. I know up here in the high desert, they had some sandstorms as well that we missed that did exactly that as well. Yeah, I know. You're thinking like I only see that in Egypt on Pharaoh movies where like Tom Cruise is like, running away from the evil Queen Pharaoh that got risen from the dead. I still need to see that movie. I heard it was terrible, by the way, but we got to rent that. Okay. So there you go. Be careful out there. Oh, by the way, speaking of being careful, this is another thing you all should know about. Visa is warning customers that after learning about certain cybercrime groups were actively exploiting a weakness in gas station networks to steal customer credit card information, that us, need to be aware. One customer said this quote: "A lot of times, not only the government but businesses critically underrate and underutilize cybersecurity. The new scheme involves accessing the gas points point of sale networks through malicious emails." And then installing scraping software to exploit the lack of security with cards that lack a chip. At least one gas station manager said lately a handful of customers had called to complain that they were charged for gas they didn't buy. Yikes. They said, quote, Anthony Vallejo, a gas station manager, said they'll be saying stuff such as, okay, I pumped this many amount of gas, but I was charged for this much. The issue does not seem to affect newer cards with the chip, but most gas stations still allow people to swipe the card since not every card has a chip. Vallejo said when you're just inserting the chip, you get more security, but for those who swipe their card, the data is sent in an unencrypted form to the vendor's main network where the thieves have figured out how to intercept it. It's a little bit crazy. According to one customer, they said, I hope they don't steal from me. And so there you go. Jesse, how does that make you feel going to the gas pump? Because I know 9/10 of every single, and we have one with the chip, but the majority of them are all swipe here.
Yeah, that's actually kind of scary. I'm glad my card has a chip, but Yeah, that is really scary.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's if you use the chip feature, because it has both features. So majority of those gas pumps I know, unless you go inside, right, and usually like at night they don't let you go inside. So now I'm like, oh, so watch your credit card information and maybe print out that receipt. I know I saw Brenda do it recently. I go, who wants to keep receipts? And now I'm thinking, oh, duh, I should keep a receipt. So there you go. So be careful out there that your stuff doesn't get stolen that easily. I always wondered how they were stealing stuff, but they always say cover up your PIN code. But now it's like, no, why don't you cover up your firewall system so that I don't get hurt and we both don't have to talk to each other after this gas debacle. All right, UPS. Oh, UPS over there, by the way, are recovering because many of you are shipping using UPS. According to UPS, they're recovering after a system shutdown. Yeah, during the height of their holiday season. The shutdown lasted for several hours, led to long lines, angry customers at UPS stores throughout LA. The people in stores across the country experienced issues, including a UPS store on Pico Boulevard. According to the store's owner, at one point, they were not able to ship out any Amazon packages, and the computers in the store were all offline. Other stores were also unable to accept Amazon drop offs due to the malfunction. Customers first started alerting the company about issues Monday morning via social media. Many of the UPS stores throughout the LA area had long lines and signs alerting customers about the glitch. But so, lesson be learned, if you're waiting for an Amazon shipment, I mean, this can happen much more than once. So, allow for extra time for these shippings. Do you ever like ship something out and you hope it'll be there by the desired date, and then you realize it's not going to be there by the desired date? It's only going to be like 3 days, 5 days later. That's terrible. Or worse yet, some pirate. Yeah, because now you're pirates. I don't know. We should glamorize that because that's calling like making it all nice and I'm a pirate. But the ones that like take it from the porch, those people got to get a life. I'm sorry if you're listening and you're one of these people. Just stop. Just to help yourself because you're gonna get caught eventually. Seriously, just stop. I saw something where it was like people are now viewing it as a challenge to make like a package that either have something in it because they know somebody's going to steal it. What would you put in that package, Jesse? I know we got less than 30 seconds, but anything?
Uh, I would put my dog's fecal matter, probably a week or two's worth, and whatever else I can find that stink it up.
See, a
Send
week
them
or
the
two's
love.
worth. Now, I don't know about week because then it's dried. I would do something very fresh, right? Like you would
Well,
go for like, yeah, like feed it a bunch of like dairy and then let it go and then yeah, oh man, I can't believe I just went there. Okay, well anyway, all right, so be careful if you're gonna steal our packages. It might have Jesse's dog's poop in there. Okay, we gotta see you. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living, so live it well. Be kind to each other, unless somebody steals your stuff. Hey, what goes around comes around. Bye bye, everybody. All right, so let's see. Oh boy, did I completely miss that story? Okay, so for those of you waiting on that whole Oscar thing, I don't know how many of you were like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this, and here I am all teasing it. But look, long story short, tune in tomorrow. Maybe we'll cover it. Because there's a lot on this list, and I don't think there's enough time to cover it. But so look, I mean, you get to look forward to some of the Oscars that's going to come up around the corner. That's kind of cool, right? Okay, I'll give you a glimpse into this. Okay, here's the potential. I think Brenda would appreciate this. Makeup and hairstyling. That's a category. So here are the ones, and I think after watching, how many of you seen the trailer to Bombshell? Did you know that Charlize Theron playing Megan Kelly? Kid you not. Like I think honestly that should win for best makeup. But here are some of the other names up for grabs for makeup and hairstyling. Dolomite is My Name, Downton Abbey, A Joker, Judy, Little Women, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Okay, that one should take it away, come to think about it. 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, not the ABC series, get it right. And Rocket Man. And in the musical score category, there's Avengers Endgame, Bombshell, The Farewell, Ford versus Ferrari. Still got to see that. Frozen 2. Sorry, Frozen 2. You totally missed the boat. You know why? They got rid of their original writers from Frozen 1. So, bad idea, Disney. And I'm going to call it out. All right, everybody, we got to make it a great day. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everybody.